I welcome all of you on platform of Europedia Education, and you are watching the series of interaction with visionaries, researchers, academicians, and people who are very much erudite and the people who are very learned in their own domains. So today I'm going to interact with one such personality. Believe me, I'm honored to interact with such kind of people. Professor Pal, with whom I'm going to interact today, Shankar Kumar Pal. So Professor Pal is one of the own pioneer in his domain. That is what we will see just now. He's a distinguished scientist and former director of Indian Statistical Institute. Now, to tell you something more about Professor Pal, he was bestowed with the prestigious Padam Shri Award in Science and Engineering in 2013 from President of India, Shri Pranab Mukherjee. If I tell you about Professor Pal, I think it will take me a lot of time to explain or tell uh, everything. I cannot tell everything about him, but some point I can tell you. Professor Pal was former director of Indian Statistical Institute, and he also founded a machine intelligence unit and Center for Soft Computing Research in ISI. He received 2 PhDs, one in radio physics and electronics from Indian Statistical Institute only, and another in electrical engineering from Imperial College London, very prestigious college. To tell you more, he also worked at University of California, Berkeley, University of Maryland, College Park, and he also worked in NASA, Johnson Space Center, Houston, Texas. So he has also worked in NASA. So that is something which we all dream of. So he has worked in there. He is co-author of 20 books. So you see, writing 20 books is itself is unbelievable. So he is authority in pattern recognition, machine learning, image processing, data mining, soft computing, so genetic algorithm. So uh, because from physics, physics is the mother of all engineering branches. So the moment you will listen Professor Paul speaking about his research areas, you will understand the meaning of that. So he's very, very experienced and learned fellow in his own domain. Professor Pal is life fellow of IEEE, and he's received Shanti Swaroop Bhatnagar Award in 1990, Padam Shri Award, and there's a long list of the awards he got. And his authority in many of the research areas I just mentioned. So you can see the list of awards and honors bestowed upon him. It's a long list and it is not exhaustive. Similarly, there's a long list of the books. Again, I could only mention some of the books here. There are 20 books of his co-author of all these books, and majority of the books are written on those like pattern recognition, etc., fuzzy logic and all. So during interaction, I had certain interaction points which I prepared for him. So his academic journey from Calcutta University to Imperial College London to NASA, his experience in NASA, and about Indian Statistical Institute, very less people know about that. His work in machine learning, data mining, bioinformatics, and how we can pursue specialization is that. Industrial application and career related to these domains, something about social networking and machine mind development. So, and these things I interacted with Professor Pal. So let me tell you honestly, it was a rare honor for me to interact with such a personality, and I'm thankful to him. He gave me opportunity to interact with him. Now let's go and listen to this, and I'm very sure you are going to get highly enriched by the views and points of Professor Pal.
Okay, Professor Pal, welcome on Europedia Education channel, and thanks a lot, sir, for giving your precious time to me today.
Thank you.
Okay, Professor Pal, this series of interview with visionaries I'm having, and you are one of the very, very erudite personality, and I have already introduced you to the masses, to the student community. Sir, before your interview, I prepared some of the questionnaires, some of the points which I want to interact with you, discuss with you today. And my first question normally is about the personality itself. So, sir, I want to know from you your academic journey from Calcutta University to Imperial College London and back home as the director of Indian Statistical Institute. So, your academic journey, sir.
Yes, my basic degree is in physics.
I know, sir. I know.
Physics,
Yeah.
and then that time just physics was the most prestigious subject in honors.
It is even today, sir. It is even today.
Even today. And also I believe that if you know physics, then you can switch to mathematics, chemistry, anywhere, anyone.
Physics is the mother of engineering, sir.
Mother of engineering, mother of science also, I believe.
That's true.
So after having that physics, then we shifted to radiophysics and electronics, because somehow I thought that doing just an MSc, it may not be good for me, and also I may not like. So that time electronics became the hottest topic, 67, 68, that's so much. So every year you see that some topics comes as a buzz, very hot topic.
Right,
Electronics, then computer science, so and so. So electronics, and that time it was a 5-year course.
Right, sir.
So vis-a-vis, so I had a choice to go either for MSc for 2 years or to go for a 5-year integrated program, BTech, MTech.
Okay.
So anyway, I chose to that one. That was a very difficult judgment, because I am from a very low income and just large number of family members group. Yeah. We were just 5 brothers, sisters together. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a very hard decision.
Right, sir.
But still, somehow I took it as a challenge. And my parents also, he just never objected anything. So after I was doing that one, I gave some 1 or 2 interviews also here and there. But then my professor suggested, no, don't go for an ISRO or other things. You do PhD. So I applied to CSIR. I was in Kolkata University, but I applied through Indian Statistical Institute. I don't know why. I felt that let me change the institution and also the subject. So that, say, 1-page write-up on pattern recognition. That time the subject was not cropped up in India and even abroad. So image pattern recognition, we applied. And very interestingly, that time we didn't have any email or anything. So everything was by telegram and so there was a telegram received from CSIR by my advisor, who that time not yet advisor, but supposed to be my advisor, would be advisor. So he called me over phone, and also phone does not work. So he gave the information, because my course was over, so we are all at home.
Okay, sir.
So somehow I got the message that I said. So then CSI said, unless you send your transcripts, you cannot join.
Okay.
You have been selected, but you are. So I went to Calcutta University.
Okay.
That time, since it was the first batch of 5 years,
okay,
our printed transcript was not ready.
Okay.
But the register was very helpful that time. So our 22 students, cyclostyle mark sheet.
Okay.
That time was a cyclostyle.
Cyclostyle.
She gave me, and we attested, we sent it. I joined on 1st of March for doing PhD in Indian Statistical Institute in a subject. There is no book, nothing, no journal, anything at ISI, even in Calcutta University. But then ISI doesn't give degree in this subject, because ISI gives degree only in statistics that time. But ISI supports this kind of programs, any other discipline, biology, physics, chemistry, geology, many other subjects. But they do not allow to submit the thesis, only those doing PhD in statistics. So I had to submit the thesis to Calcutta University. That is the history. So that's why I write Calcutta University, but basically I'm a product of Indian Statistical Institute.
Okay, okay.
And that time it was it is a common feature for many institutes, TIFR and other DRDO institutes also something. They do not offer the degree in that discipline, so they have to. Even the TIFR, even I think few years back also, they had the problem that they get the degree from Bombay University.
Okay.
So but that time, and also I had a job in Department of Atomic Energy, Ravat Bhata,
okay,
trade engineer, so gazetted officer. I joined there. For a month we worked, but there was a bond.
Okay.
to return money. So I didn't draw any salary.
Okay.
I returned.
Okay.
So had I been there in, I would have been now Kalpakam and other things.
Okay.
All
That's
had
true.
to make energy. So I came
Yeah.
back and joined. Then after then, I applied for Commonwealth scholarship.
Okay.
So my then director said, yeah, you go to. And also I had a postdoc offer from USA,
Okay.
but Purdue,
Okay.
and the father of the pattern recognition, Professor Fu. But my then director said, no, you go to Imperial College. You are not
Okay.
going for another PhD, but you are going to learn. So I said, okay. So I didn't discuss with anybody.
Okay.
In my all decision, someone has advised, and that's all. So I went to Imperial College. My PhD was just a byproduct, another PhD.
Right, sir.
So I worked there. I returned. I did my postdoc also there. So I returned to ISI Calcutta. That's all, giving job. Then I went to Fulbright program, Berkeley, Maryland. I came back. Then I went to, and so on.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Professor Pal, you have visited many universities, sir, and you went to those countries at the time when very less people used to go actually for those domains. And sir, you even had some kind of, I think, experience with the NASA also. I was going through your profile, sir. We would
Yes,
like
yes,
to know
yes.
your experience with NASA also. Yeah.
Yes. That is remarkable. Actually, what's happened when I was visiting Berkeley as a Fulbright.
Yeah.
The Fulbright Fellowship also, one of my colleagues said, this is a Fulbright program fellowship. There is because I'm not aware of all those things. Somebody has given me, I applied. What about all awards, whatever you say, I was not aware of those. Somebody advised. So somebody advised that you apply for Fulbright. So I applied for Fulbright, I got it. So I went to Berkeley and Maryland. So Berkeley was luck is hard. Because Fulbright was for a shorter period, 4 months, 6 months. He said, SK, if you want to come for a longer period, you apply through National Academy of Science Fellowship.
Okay.
So nobody knows. So we collected the form from Washington, D.C. My wife was with me, and then we returned home. Then we applied. So I was offered at NASA Ames, but then somehow for a financial problem, they declined. So I wrote to them. So they transferred it to NASA Houston. NASA Houston, it is basically famous for mission control.
Yeah.
You know, every NASA has its defined objective.
Right.
So NASA space, that shuttle takes off from Florida.
Florida.
JF
Kennedy. Yeah.
So once it takes off, within few seconds, control comes to NASA.
NASA, yeah.
NASA Houston.
Yeah.
NASA Houston, wherever. So they
Sir, I'm sorry to interrupt you, sir. Is it similar to what Space Application Center of ISRO in Bangalore is?
No. They're completely different.
Okay,
I'm just coming.
Okay.
NASA is a international program. NASA not only does research in space, they also fund to college, university, research students, PhD program, and industry people.
Okay, great.
I thought I'll be explaining. So NASA, they invited fellows like us from all over the world to work in unclassified job.
Okay.
Because classified job you are not allowed as a foreigner.
Okay.
So unclassified job to develop some group in the recent hot area. That was the objective.
Okay.
So I went there. It was a big experience, both academic wise and also societal benefit. So I got that NASA, National Academy of Science, National Research Council Senior Research Associate Award. I joined in, I think, 1990, January, 1st January. And my director was very happy to give me leave. He said, you go there. One. So what actually I have gained from there, because I was asked to develop a group in fuzzy logic for Mars rover problem.
Okay.
Because that time Mars rover research was going on, how to send a rover in Mars
Okay.
can navigate and send information.
Okay.
So there I formed a group on cardiology control, and I was in the information technology division. Initially, the department name is software technology branch. And then when information technology became a boom, at the time I was leaving NASA because I was there for 2.5 years in Bhutan, information technology division. And then what's another advantage, since NASA funding agency, you can know that which subjects are coming for the next 10 years. Because all big professors has to come because they need fund. So they have to come and give their presentation. So in the process, I was used for selecting those projects also for funding. That's how I came to know about upset theory. That's how I came to know about genetic algorithm and so on. And is a society point of view, yes, when I go Japan and others, and everybody respects, oh, he's just NASA scientist.
Okay.
Even I'm basically from India, but I was just NASA scientist.
Okay.
So after 1 year, they offered me a green card.
Okay.
By that time, I have received Bhatnagar Prize. So they have publicized it in their newsletter. It's a big publication from NASA newsletter. So my program coordinator, he asked me, Shankar, whoever comes here, nobody wants to go back. So please let me know your decision, because it will take about 8 to 10 months to process for your green card. I suddenly said no, because I received Bhatnagar Prize and I need to go back. He said, Shankar, you go and think for a week. Nobody wants to go back. Come. So then I was thinking, what is he asking? So then I talked to the director who was visiting in Purdue. He said, no, Professor Pal, you don't come here for long. You come here for 6 months. You stay at 6 months in America and 6 months in India. For like me, what I'm doing. Because he was doing 6 months at Purdue. I said, no, sir, it's not possible for me. 6 months here, 6 months here. So then I informed them, Stanley, no, I'm sorry, I have to go back. So that was my history in NASA. This was a big experience, not in terms of publication, but in terms of knowing people, big people, and picking up the right subjects in right time. Plus, it's a brand name, just like you said that NASA, everybody goes to university. But NASA, why NASA? So when I worked with NASA, all big giant scientists were not scientists in terms of publication. It's a big name.
Okay, Professor Pal, you rightly said nobody comes back, especially when they have opportunities from these kind of institutes. My straight question to you, sir, why you came back?
See, this is a question many people ask me, even when I spent 4 years at Imperial College. When I'm returning, people say, no, don't return. You go to America. But I returned. Similar than NASA also. Somehow, I didn't like to be in a just foreign country, because somehow I think there is a freedom is not 100%. I know America is the best country for foreigners to give maximum advantage, etc. But I thought, why should I leave my country? My country has given me the Bhatnagar Prize. My country has given so much opportunity to visit Imperial College and everything. So why should I leave? And if I stay there, maybe it will be helpful for other younger colleagues also. So I don't have any regret. Even my wife also didn't want to stay there.
That was my next question. Okay, so, Professor Pal, let me ask you a very straight question, sir. Like even me and my wife were working in US and we came back, so I can understand that, sir. My question to you is very straight. Do you think your talent has been fully utilized being in India, or had it been different, you would have been in America?
It is just subjectivity, relative question. How do you think? Because it's not that I am being used. It is question that why that way I want to just get used. I don't think, because working in an institute like Indian Statistical Institute, one of the best academic environment that I've seen compared to Berkeley, Imperial College, etc., is a freedom. That freedom is my institute, that was 200%.
Okay.
If you do not want to work, nobody will say. If you want to work, you get everything. So I do not think that used. And yes, you may be right in that sense. If I would have done the same work at USA, then I could have got little better name, etc. But otherwise, as per the job satisfaction is concerned, my institute is the best institute. Had I been IIT, I do not know what I would have done. But given the choice between Indian Statistical Institute or it will be, I think I will prefer, and also I recommend everybody, that if you want to do very good research free, I think ISI is the best opportunity.
Okay, so my next question, Professor Pal, is the same. Like many technocrats, they are already aware about institutes like IICs, IITs, NITs, triple ITs, and all. So Indian Statistical Institute is one of the very prestigious institutes, sir. But students do not know much about this. So through you, I want today, sir, you please tell us something about Indian Statistical Institute and what are the very prestigious courses there.
And you are right. Even when I became the director in 2005, before that also, this is a common question raised by my chairman, foreigner, etc. That this is the institute which has produced so many good works. And outside India, within India, those who are really in academic, they only know. But common people, common students, they know about IIT, not
Yes.
ISI. Yes, because we do not believe in advertisement, we don't have campaign, and our student strength is very limited and very specialized.
Right,
For example, BStat is our flagship program.
Yes.
Just like in IIT BTech.
Yeah.
It's not MTech, it's IIT BTech.
Right, sir.
Previously, our 5 IITs I'm talking about.
Yes.
So ISI BStat, that time our student was about 15, 10, 20.
Okay.
And our time, one out of the batches, I think it was 8 or 9 only. Very selective student.
Okay.
So people say that it is easier to crack IITs, but difficult to crack one. I was told by several of our colleagues. So now, number of courses has increased a lot during my time also. Now we have got BStat, 3-year program from Calcutta, MStat, 3-year program from Calcutta. We have got master in quantitative economics, very demanding. Quantitative economics. We have got MTech in computer science. Okay. We have MTech in quality, reliability, and operation research.
Okay.
We have BMath from ISI Bangalore. Actually, one thing you may not knowing, ISI is one institution. Calcutta is the headquarter. Many people say ISI from Bangalore. He's from ISI Bangalore. No. Bangalore is a center. Okay. Delhi is a center. Yeah. Tirupur is a center. Chennai is a center. Hyderabad is a unit. Coimbatore is a unit. Yeah? So many people do not know. So only one director, only one team. Okay, that is Calcutta. All in Calcutta. So in Bangalore, we have got BMath. We have MMath program, 1 year from Bangalore, one from Calcutta. We have MS, Library of Science, that is for Bangalore. We have got MS in qualitative management science, that is from Bangalore and Hyderabad. Then we have got recently MTech in cryptology. Then we have got PhD programs in 4 subjects: statistics, mathematics, quantitative economics, computer science, and recently introduced QR and OR. So there are now so many courses. It's not like previously, but again, number of students is very less. Till now, government innovation, it is 30, 40, 30, so much. It's not like hundreds. Or
so both science graduates as well as engineering graduates join ISI, right, sir?
They join for MTech.
MTech, okay.
See, our view is that this was only MTech, where any discipline of science can come, provided he is good in maths. Okay. So our entrance has all tests from maths. Okay. This is unlike IITs. Right, sir. So even in our chemical engineer, mechanical engineer, very good mechanical engineer, and the management student, they were very good output of our MTech. Right, sir. Right, sir.
So these are the courses now we have in ISI. Okay. Professor Pal, my next question was related to your research field only, sir. I could see from your biodata that you are authority in machine learning, data mining, bioinformatics. So I want you to tell us something about these domains, sir, and what are the scopes in these domains for the students.
Now, machine learning name now you are talking about, but when we started in pattern recognition back in 1975,
right, sir.
That was machine learning now one. But pattern recognition is the mother subject of machine learning. Pattern means recognizing a pattern.
Okay, sir.
Pattern means recognizing a pattern. Pattern could be speech, pattern could be image, pattern could be handwritten character, pattern could be a financial statement. Whatever you see, whatever is a pattern.
Right, sir.
So after 10 years, it's a American. American loves in giving new names always.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
So after 10 years, he said, no, pattern has some limitation because it only takes certain measurement and then makes the decision. Okay. But our human mind, they do not go by measuring.
Right, sir.
So let us make it an expert system. That way expert system was a buzzword. So artificial intelligence expert system came. Just 80 when I was visiting Berkeley. Because just like medical doctors, they make the decision not only by your input symptoms, but also based on their experience.
Okay.
Law interpreter not only takes your input of the client, but also based on their experience, they make the decision. So that's time, I don't know how old are you, in 80s, expert system was a buzzword. So everywhere, wherever America says, and Indians follow, you know. All projects, everything, AI, then say machine learning. But the learning concept was embedded in pattern recognition.
Right, sir.
So it came, but that time AI could not succeed much because lack of data.
Right, sir.
Lack of data. Lack of data. Because machine learning means learning patterns from examples. Right. You do not need to know. You are given some example, X, Y, X, Y, X, Y, you learn the pattern. So then after 10 years, 1990, we became knowledge-based network. Oh, rule-based is not enough. How to encode higher level knowledge. India had 5 centers, including ISI, Delhi, etc. And now today, after then, we got this big data, 2000. Big data.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
You have seen it. 2000, say, first you can data mining, because data has been digital revolution, etc., etc., etc. The 2010, after 10 years, big data. Now you see, we could not solve big data. We could be about data science, deep learning. So we are also using, but basic thing you have to know pattern recognition. So machine learning means learning patterns of examples, whether it is level or unlevel. So that's why subject. So that's why whenever people say, I'm saying, yeah, you come for training. I will teach you first pattern recognition. So how, given a data, how to make it cluster, how to partition. Unless you partition, you can find the relation among the data.
Right, sir.
So data science basically pattern recognition. So similarly, say now we have got the bioinformatics. That is also a product, and it's about 10, 15 years, 20 years before, because of this genome project. We have developed so many biological data. So how to process them? We didn't have big computer initially, but if you look at this, in 2000, we have a very smart computer, very smart software. So we have the luxury. We can afford that luxury. But when we started working 75, we do not have that. We have a 2-year memory only, honey oil, 2K memory. We have data, few hundreds and few features. So now that dimension has gone few thousands, number of samples. So because of the data, so machine learning, now we are completing data science. Data science without deep learning you cannot do. And bioinformatics is one such application. Dealing with biological data integrated with machine learning, artificial intelligence, in order to make fast processing, in order to discover some information which a biologist cannot do quickly. So if you can give some extracted information, say gene selection, what are the best genes for cancerous responsible for cancer? From few thousand, if you have reduced to few tens, 40, 50, then give it to the biologists. They can do more experiment on this data. Then only on those genes instead of considering few thousand genes. So bioinformatics came into.
Okay.
Now there are courses. Yes, courses. You see that in all IITs now, machine learning is must. All IITs, just like at 80s, AI, but then AI declined. Nobody talk about AI. Because now data has come, computer is fast, memory is cheap, etc. So all one is the one. I am also involved in many IITs. But one best data science course is given by IIT Kharagpur, Indian Statistical Institute, and IIM Calcutta. A very demanding course, very good course. Then AI and data science. There is a new BTech program in IIT Jodhpur. I was involved there. Similarly, you have got IIT Bhilai also have MTech program. I was in their committee. As far as the bioinformatics, IIIT Hyderabad, IIIT Delhi. Then you have got some courses in JNU, some good courses in Indian Agricultural Research Institute, Delhi. Then you have a by research program, IIT Madras. In Bengal also you have got WBUT. There are some, many. But demand-wise, machine learning is a hot topic.
Okay.
Any data, whether it's a theoretical work or practical application, bioinformatics is one kind of application. So that's why scope is little limited, though it has a wide scope in the Western world, Europe, America, but in India, little less as compared to machine learning.
Okay, so Professor Pal, whatever you told, like pattern recognition eventually led to all these domains, and you are saying like machine learning is a hot topic nowadays. So sir, if some student is to go for some course which gives him good job in the industries, so which course he should go? Though you have answered that partially, but if one course he wants to go at the level of masters.
Listen, if he has a graduate degree in computer science, BTech, then in one of the courses he must have gone through.
Right, sir.
Pattern recognition, machine learning.
Right, sir.
It's a must. So with that course, it's enough.
Right, sir.
If he has come from chemical engineering,
okay, sir,
then you have to go through some kind of refresher course.
Right, sir.
Because those courses may not be there. That's why I'm telling. If it is a double E, if it is a computer science, IT, then machine learning, he or she cannot miss, because pattern recognition course was originated from double E. That time computer science was not there. All electrical engineers. Why? Because how to determine the crack in a bridge automatically by machine. These are typical courses for there. So basically it's an electrical engineering. So electrical sciences, for them, no problem. In one of their undergraduate program or even postgraduate program, and even for chemical and others, if they want to shift, then during the MTech program, they can take those courses.
Okay. So because
I don't expect that you will run from pattern, because pattern, whichever is required, these are included in this machine learning course.
Right, sir. Right, sir. Because
unless
these data science and machine learning, these are the courses which are, sir, interdisciplinary courses. Like any branch student can join these courses. That is how these
data
are.
Science, no. It's a confusion. These are all overlapping. Machine learning is the tool.
Okay.
Tool.
Okay.
Data science means mostly depend on the what kind of data you are having.
Okay.
Data science, if you go by this definition, it's a discipline which involves storing of data, retrieval of data, processing of data, extracting information from data, and taking appropriate decision at least amount of time.
Right, sir.
And in the processing, you need machine learning. In the storing, you may not need. So machine learning is a technology. And deep learning is an advanced version of the machine learning.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
So machine learning is the core topic.
Okay.
Data science is one of the applied areas now, because now you are getting data from all kinds of disciplines.
Okay.
Biology, physics, physics laboratory, they produce a high quality of data, chemical processor. So data is there. In order to process and extract information for your knowledge and to give a quick decision, you need machine learning technologies.
Understand. That's fine, sir. Professor Pal, I was also going through your research work and your profile, sir, and where I found something about social networks and machine mind development. So these words I found very interesting. I wanted to ask you about that.
Machine mind development, actually, one of my former PhD students, now she's a faculty in IIT Jodhpur. And similarly, social network also, one of my former PhD students, he's also now a faculty in IIT Jodhpur. We started about a decade back. Because whatever we done work, if you look at my profile, it's not just 3 or 4 years, it's about a decade program. So what is machine mind? Basically, we are inspired by Alan Turing, that English guy, passed a very early stage of 43. His basic paper, that is Mind Journal, Thinking Machine. So we are inspired by that thinking machine.
Right, sir.
And he's the man who explained in 1947 in London Mathematical Society that what we need a machine that can learn from experience, that can learn from environment. That is the basic concept of machine learning, and that he explained back in 1947. So inspired by his one, we are attempting to design a synthetic mind that imitating human mind, particularly for one task, comprehension of natural language comprehension, using computing with words, with the help using our common sense, intuition, reasoning, and so on. So objective is to design a synthetic mind similar to human mind for natural language comprehension. That is given a sentence. I will explain you using computing work with computing, the CWW, computing with work. That is not computing with any number, involving intuition, reasoning, sense, etc. For example, the flower is beautiful. I tell you a sentence. So what is the perception cannula? There is no quantitative figure. No? Right. So granule will be a subject, predicate, and the belief. So what is the subject here? Subject is that description of the flower. And what is the predicate? Beautiful. And what is the belief? That to what extent it is belief. That is how strongly you believe that flower is beautiful. So subject, predicate, and belief. That means if subject is X and predicate Y, so what is the subjective probability that X is Y? That is equal to belief 1. So in that case, in the sentence that I represented in terms of perception granules, if you look at this, that has twofold of speciation. What is number one speciation is to what extent the flower can be called beautiful. It's a very beautiful, not so beautiful, or more or less beautiful. And second one is that the subjective probability that the flower is beautiful, and it could be adverbial phrase. So this representation we can express using Z numbers. That means borrowed from computing with words again, which provides a framework for speciation of the semantics embedded in the sentence. Or in other words, it provides a framework for quantification of the abstraction of semantic information or subjectiveness of the information. Because when I say that to what extent it is good, or you say that believe, how strongly you believe that it involves subjectivity. So to handle subjectivity, that is using computing with words, not in terms of language, that is one of our best contribution. Now this is for a sentence like flower is beautiful. Now you think about active thoughts when you are drawing some figure, or you are writing a poem. So you are using active thoughts. So in that active thoughts, we have defined Z star number, but the belief measure involves both time and context. So these are our theoretical aspect. This is what is called our machine mind design problem, and then ultimately it's just surrounding issues. We have explain. So what is his immediate application? One application you can think of, it is a plagiarism checker. So plagiarism checker, now we mix count matching by word without so suppose if you rephrase the sentence, plagiarism checker today cannot handle. But we will say we can handle this because we are extracting the semantic information, contribution of the semantic information embedded in the sentence.
That's right.
And also it will contribute to the artificial general intelligence initiative.
Right, sir.
This is one aspect.
Okay.
And the social network, just like everybody now doing Facebook. What is the problem now? See, social online network, you see that it can be viewed as a collection of actors, professionals, node, players, which are called node, and collection of relation between them, interaction between them. This is basically one. So basically a graph. You have node and their interaction, and link describes the link intersection between two. In a Facebook, you are my friend, he is your friend, etc. So there is a link that you are friend, etc. So here, if you took for a given task, these actors form groups, and these groups very often are not distinguishable. For example, let's consider a citation network. Somebody has worked, my work is being cited by him, cited by others, etc. Then his work also cited by others. So that becomes a indistinguishable group. So here comes the significance of granularity. And again, the relation between one and the clusters, they do not have precise boundaries. For example, when you are my member, you are my friend, and you recommended somebody to be friend. So you are my first friend. Then I got through your another friend request. I have given him or her friendship. So in the conventional system, based on sociogram, they consider their friends means yes, but we say no. The original friendship and the friendship through his friend or etc. cannot be of the same order. So there is a gradation. So that's why we have developed new theory we given fuzzy granulation theory. That is the model. Then we took two applications. For example, there are many applications, say community detection. What is community detection? In our natural society, so we have a group of classmates. That is a natural, is a group of your friends, friend circle, locality. That is also very common. Say village there is a common. Similarly, in virtual world also, we have got this kind of community. For example, I am a leader in subject. Everybody is citing me, what is being working. So this constitutes a group. This constitutes a community. Now somebody is working in my area, also in other area. So he is working in interdisciplinary subject. So if I can identify these groups, he is the leader, he is the boundary man, that he is an interdisciplinary leader. This is my advantage. So by using community detection, I can also promote business also for a product. Which product is being recommended by everybody. So if I can find that cluster community, I can do this. This is a community detection. Similarly, come to link prediction. That is very useful. Given a snapshot, so online networks is evolving every time. You are now today friend, tomorrow you are not a friend, another friend joins, so it is evolving, dynamic. So given a snapshot of the dynamic network today, my next question is what will be the link between the two, whether it will deleted or it will grow after 10 days. It's called link prediction. It has got tremendous application that you can find some, whether the guy will be liking the book or not, whether the customer who comes every day, who will be buying this product or not. Because here link means relation. It could be a financial transaction, it could be a friendship, and so on. So here what we do, we consider any relation between two actors or two nodes is a string. There are many forces acting. And depending on the forces, we can decide whether that good link that is existing today, it will be existing tomorrow or not. Or if there is any no link, then whether that will be grown or not. So here, what is a simple thing? Suppose you are my friend in Facebook. You have your some own friend circle. I have also my own friend circle. Their friend circle, they may have their friendship within them. And there could be another set of friends where you are also friend, I am also friend. So basically there are 4 types of friends. There are some friends common, both you and me. So they will always try to keep our relation intact.
Right, sir.
So this gives positive. Similarly, those who are friends, your friends, my friends, but they within them they have friendship. So they will also try to keep our friendship. But the group which was only with you, not me, and the groups which are only with me, not with you,
right, sir.
They will try to pull out. It's a negative.
Right, sir.
Because they think that if you are busy with them, and they think that I am busy with them, our friendship might be slowly it will be decaying. So negative. So this 2 kinds of positive, 2 kinds of negative.
Right,
make it cumulative. If the net tension is positive, we say that it will be grown. If it is negative, that will be deleted.
Right.
Simple. So that's how you can find so many things. Whether there will be a now today have the security issue, security issue. So in the security issue, whether there is a link, any kind of community issue, etc. Identifying such missing item, recommending threats to social network is phase 1, identifying hidden groups for terrorist network, and so on. That means what is existing today, probably that will be existing or not. What is not existing today, whether tomorrow they will be existing or not. Yes. It's a very, very interesting question.
Yes.
So these are the 2 issues we have been working for this.
Right. Okay, Professor Pal, I want to ask you, sir, like higher education needs to be promoted in our country, unless until there's best mind goes for higher education. There is a trend. There was a trend at your time also, sir. There's a trend today also that whenever somebody thinks of higher education, he thinks of abroad, he thinks of foreign countries. So how to make higher education lucrative in our own country so that the best brain could be retained and their research and their mind could be used for the development of the nation. So what do you think about that, sir?
Now this is a little bit touchy issue. Let me explain that way. At our time, there was not much scope for going abroad. At our time, if you have your elder person, you ask them, it was difficult to go, and we are not aware also. And in our country, opportunity was more. There was no rat race. Those who are really want to do science, they are coming to science. Those who want to go into engineering, they are going to engineering. There is no competition for pressure from the parents.
Right.
That is the most important thing. There is no peer pressure from families, groups, friends, anything. Right? At that time, we got job without any ambition. Without any ambition also. If I would have gone, Today, if you look at this, first of all, this is a globalization. Whole world is at your hand. And our political and our national policy also. Say IIT. Now I'm asking you the same question. They made a rule that after PhD, if you have at least 3-year postdoc in abroad, then we will prefer either a PhD from abroad, or if you have a homegrown PhD, that is 3-year postdoc abroad. You go. It's unwritten everywhere. In the science, I was involved 12 years in the promotional committee, IIT. So now you tell me, what would you do with your kid?
Right. You will send abroad.
There are few still guardians, they will not bother. But most of the guardians,
that's true.
Because it is being driven to you that unless you do this, you cannot do that. Unless you do science, your life is gone. That's why it is too many commitment, suicide. At our time, it was a style. BSc honors, if you not good, give in one, you are not, if your exemption was not good in one paper, you used to give it off. Oh, what is that style? Hey, what is it? No, this time I have given drop. They don't bother about 1 year. Bother one. Now you see, think of it. The parents will kill you.
suicide
So,
preparation.
so it's not that easy question. You see, if we publish in a good international journal outside,
Yeah.
then we get better value. If I publish in my country, we do not get better value. That's why we do not publish good journals in my country.
Hmm.
See, it is easy
So
to
that's a
give.
mindset.
This mindset. It is given to advice. On the other side of the table, you can advise. But when you come to this side, you have to face the reality. When you
Yeah.
go for an award or anything, you always see, oh, which journal it is. Okay, if it's Indian journals, it's good. But again, little bit.
Hmm.
See, that's the training we are just giving to here. Go quick, fast. If this. That's why science is getting defeated. Science is getting defeated. Everybody running. See, what is now one impact factor of journal? Impact H index. What are those things? And you are making ranking. See, ranking is a very bad attitude. My country, you have certain the ranking with the institutes, and in the process, private universities, those who are not good, they are also getting bribed and then giving their number. The other day I saw in Times of India, say Calcutta and Bangalore within 10, within 100 best cities, science cities. What is the big? And two China, Brazil, Beijing and others within top 5. How can would you just prefer to just go to Beijing then any just Stanford? You tell me first. So it is a kind of, today I had discussed with my sons, they are the same thing. Now we have got this kind of culture because we have got the number. We have got number. So number we know that 2 is greater than 1.999. 2 is less than 3.0001. Understand the point? So that has killed us. We are not doing science nowadays. We are now cheating with the science. Let me just tell you the story. One, see, data science, largest problem is that we do not have deep analytics. We are running after America because America has shortage of deep analysts that they have seen 10 years back, and all shortage will come from India and China. We are running after it. That's why you're asked, sir, where can I get this machine learning course? Now I get all interns requests, sir, can I have 2 months with your machine learning experience? Or how can you have 2 months machine learning experience? Is it a like shopkeeper? They give me a machine learning dose. See, that is killer. It's not that bright student. You are forcing them to go far, right? And American courses are catered by the need of the Indians and China.
That's true.
They are catered. Those syllabuses are catered by this.
Right, sir.
These students will go there. They belong to the privileged group.
Right, sir.
Privileged group. They will stay there. Yes, there is some reverse migration. So India, it will be difficult because our policy is not supporting you.
Okay.
Our policy does not cater to the need. Let me tell you that one. Modi ji is talking about last 7, 8 years. Make in India, make in India. What make in India you will get? China product is easy. Chinese product is very cheap. You are all buying.
Yeah.
You see the thing.
That's
Our
true.
best products are Indians where? Because they are getting better benefit, advantage locality. And here you see, to get I need a machine for my national, I'm now national science chair. I've got a research grant. And it took 3 months going to be, I'm not getting machine. Some bureaucrat knowledge, this. This is my country. But in America, no. Britain, no. Work is fast. So if you want a very good work, now I do not ask my sons also, any students. I say, you go abroad and see. You just need not come back. What I have done.
Okay. So my last question, Professor Pal, to you is, sir, now your future goals.
See, future goals, I'm now 70. I am now a national science chair for 3 years plus 2 years, 5 years. So that I have a certain research objective, and I will PhD students from IIT Kharagpur also. 3 problems I am now handling. Of course, related to granular computing, which I have been working for, which I have developed in my lab for more than a decade, coupled with deep learning, and this application to data analytics. First one is then granular computing. Since we are playing with the granule, not individual data point, so it leads to competition in gain. On the other hand, machine learning, as I told you, is learning from examples, and neural network is a very good example of machine learning. However, and now deep learning has come, which is an advanced version of machine learning. Now, the performance of deep learning or machine learning depends on the number, how many samples you are using. So, higher the larger the number of samples, better is the performance. But at the cost of time, because it is expensive. So, we have to be a trade-off between computation time and the performance. So, here comes the significance of integrating granular computing with this deep learning mechanism. Further, the learning performance of deep learning depends on the number of samples. And when you use a number of samples, subjectivity of samples becomes important. And this problem becomes aggregated when the clusters have overlapping boundary. So life is not that easy. So in that context, we will be using probabilistic reasoning and this Z number that I explained. So our objective first challenge, how to find aforesaid granular computing to integrate with deep learning for gaining the competition and to make the system working in CPU, central processing unit. Today's most of the deep learning networks, they need GPU. This is one objective. The second objective is that trustability of the system. See, when you design a neural network or a system, designer cannot explain you why that decision has been arrived. So as a result, it leads to some interpretability problem. And that gives rise to the question of trustability of the decision. That is, since you cannot explain me why this decision has been made. For example, when you go to a doctor and you for diagnosis, doctor tells you your pressure was there, temperature was not due, that's why I said you have this problem. But neural network decision you are getting, but it's a black box. You call it black box structure. So that gives rise to the question of explainable III. Now, what is explainable III? So the explainable III, your model should be capable of explaining to an user to understand the AI's cognition and reasoning capability, so as to decide which decision you can accept and which decision you can reject. So this is a problem. Everybody is trying. So here I see that, the decision here are based on sample data or past experience. So there is a subjectivity. So I can bring that G numbers into the issue. And as I mentioned you, also the clusters could be overlapping. So the overlap is a question. So the final result, if I want to express in natural language, in order to make it understandable to a layman, that the abstraction of information has to be there. So here comes the modification of one. And another thing, granular computing we have been doing for processing level. But we need to make it to decision level also. For example, the community detection. In a country, we have found these many villages. Now, how can we find the sub-villages? So more finer details. So granular level decision. This is one aspect. Then their application to video analytics that we have been working for many. There are also my former PhD student, Devaroti, is now in IIT Jodhpur. But in IIT Kharagpur, with their collaboration, I'm working on safety analytics also issue. Zina. What is safety analytics? Because any safety analytics performance of any system depends on collection of quality data, extraction of reliable information, and the uncertain decision making. The first two decides the second. So in order to have reliable information of the quality of data, we like to use the G numbers, because they suffer from, because when they collect the data, it is based on the experience and the perception of the expert. And when you have the perception and experience, subjectivity impression has to be there. But however, in order to model this with G number, because our objective is to make any subjective thing quantitatively analyzed, qualitatively quantitatively analyzed. So G number has limitation. It has already, so how to enhance or how to find different variants of G numbers in order to handle this problem. So these are the main theory aspect wise deep learning on one and G number, and their application to granular mining, granular safety analytics. These are the main my thrust areas, thrust area of the research. Plus, other than this, whenever some research, now, for example, my 2 of our students are working on this your point, change point detection. Say COVID data. If you look at this during our lockdown time, it had some decreasing active, then again increasing. So how to find this automatically change point detection that is used. So these are all we are now completing. So these are some of the issues plus writing books.
Okay. So you have got the sufficient time now.
Oh yes. And another thing now I have developed. I have visited 46 countries. So everybody is asking me, why don't you write? Why don't you write your experience? Because I visited some countries where usually people do not go. Say Algeria, Rwanda, next to Uganda. Many people do not know Kigali. So I'm also trying to write all those things in my the way I have seen them, not to be just professional writer. So I'm finishing those things.
Great. So Professor Pal, we have come to an end of this beautiful and quietly enriched session with you, sir. And I'm really thankful to you, Professor Pal, because the views which you have shared with us, I'm very sure these are going to help so many students, so many technocrats, and we need to do self-analysis. At the end, you send a message that why people should go abroad and why they are now, I mean, even the parents who stayed back home, if they're telling their kids to go abroad, where we have gone wrong. So that message you have sent, sir, and I'm very sure we need to do self-assessment for that, Professor Pal. Thanks a lot, sir, for giving your precious time to us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.